RVU, an RV Insider podcast where I will interview industry experts, icons, and influencers. Class is in session, and I am your host, Angie Morell. Today, the roll call is Tom and Stacie Langland from RV Texas, y'all.
Hey, guys.
Hey. Thanks so much for joining me today. So I wanted to visit and let our listeners learn about how we found each other.
Oh my gosh,
It's been a long time. Do you remember what year?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
2014 maybe?
Probably Dallas RV show.
It was,
Yes.
It's been a while.
So ran into him, and that was before Texas. Had you started Texas RV Y'all?
We had just started RVTexasyall.com in 2013. So it was right after we launched the website. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was before we started the YouTube channel.
So you guys were early on in the industry, like being, kind of the first people to get out there with full-time podcasts.
I don't know about the first.
Not first, but like maybe.
We were early on set, and we did it just to kind of share our journey and what we were going to go through, because when we would meet people, they would all talk about the full-time RV lifestyle, and they wanted to know all about it. So we thought, you know what, why don't we just chronicleize the whole thing and do the YouTube channel and add it to the website, RVTexasyall.com. And so that's how that started.
So for those listeners that don't know you, this is our first introduction. Mm-hmm. So you went from having a home with sticks and bricks.
We did.
To we're going to do this full time.
Right.
So how did you make that decision?
Well, it's funny because we started out like so many people do with a travel trailer, and then we got into a motorhome, and we actually met the first full-time RVers we ever met. We actually met though on a cruise, which was kind of strange. But we were in line in Galveston, Texas, waiting to get on a cruise ship, and the folks behind us were full-time RVers. And they had parked their RV at the terminal, and they were getting on the ship, and they were doing a back-to-back. They were doing 2 weeks. So we got an opportunity during that week to talk to them and kind of pick their brains. And people live in their RVs? What? This is a thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we, we're traveling around, and we did a lot of state parks and things in Texas, and we met several people who were park hosts who were full-time RVers. And every single one of them had these fantastic stories on how they just felt healthier and more relaxed, and all these adventures that they were having.
Yeah.
And and so we started thinking, okay, this is maybe something we should consider. So we did a 5-year plan for kind of how that was going to be. And in 2018, we sold our house. We had a house, a 3,000 square foot house west of Houston. And we sold that. We sold our business that we owned, and basically gave away almost everything else, sold our truck, and hit the road.
I always think it's so admirable to, we kind of live this life gathering and collecting things, and then all of a sudden you got rid of everything. And I do think it's like the fountain of youth. I honestly do. Our customers are having so much fun, enjoying life. I feel like it is a lifestyle that keeps you young.
I think so.
We met a couple, just a quick story, met a couple that was from San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And they were both teachers, and they both had retired, and they had a big, beautiful home in San Antonio, never RV'd a day in their life. Went to a Thanksgiving Day party at one of their friends' house, which someone was a full-time RVer there. Mm-hmm. And everybody crowded around them and was talking to them. And before they left that event, they both, in their minds separately, were thinking, oh my gosh, maybe we ought to do this. And when they told us when they drove home, they were like, each one didn't even want to bring it up because they thought the other would think they were crazy.
Yeah, like, there's no way.
There's no way, right. So finally, one of them broke the ice, and the other one said, let's do it. And they called their kids the next day and said, you better come over to the house and get everything you want, because we're going to sell everything. And their kids didn't really think that.
No, you're not. You're not going to really do that.
Well, the moral of the story is, before Christmas, which they always had a big Christmas party with all their friends that were at that
The Christmas party,
Thanksgiving.
Everything had a price tag on it.
What's
That
crazy
would have been a
is,
great way to
yeah,
do it, actually.
but they did not make it to the Christmas party. They had their house had already sold. They were starting to downsize quickly, and they put their house on the market, and it sold in like 2 days. They didn't even have an RV.
Wow.
So then they bought an RV and they got on the road. And when we met them, they were park hosting at a park,
State park.
It was a state park, and they said that they'd done it for 2 years at that time. They had gotten off all of their high blood pressure medication, their high cholesterol medication. Their numbers had never been better, and they said they absolutely loved it. No way they would turn back.
Well, there's the commercial. For full-time RVing, but kind of fun. So we met at the RV show in 2014.
Yes.
And then what made you come out to see us again?
So
Because we worked a couple times.
we did, yeah. So we actually bought from you guys in 2021. So there was a stretch there that we knew you guys, and we're building a relationship. And I think that's one of the things that's so important, and really for us sets NIRVC apart, is the ability to build a relationship with the folks as you're getting to know them and you're watching the new models. And because in 2014 we weren't ready to make a change, and then over the years we just kept talking to you guys, and we'd come every so often and visit in Dallas and see what was out there and new. And when we went full time, we had a 31-foot Class A because our goal was to try to stay small. We loved being in a Class A. We had a larger one before that, but we wanted to go into national parks and state parks as we were traveling, and so we wanted to be as small as possible. And so I remember in 2018, I believe it was, we were at the Dallas RV show, and you told
Again.
and you told us, "Oh, you have to see the new Air."
Yes.
And
I was excited.
I
knew that
thought
would be a
Tom's
good
tongue
fit.
was going to fall out of his mouth when he saw the new Air. So
Yeah.
you want to talk a little bit about from there how it
Well,
went?
I mean, of course, we found it from Angie's video. I mean, that's how we all find Angie, and that's how a lot of people find Stacie and I too. And once I saw that, I always knew we were going to have a new Air at some point.
Yeah, because I know that we worked on a Ventana at one
We
point.
did.
We were
Right,
like,
we
considered
almost
there's a
got there.
progression there of, I know that you kind of honed in on what you wanted too. So
Yes.
by the time you got to 21, and that happens a lot. People don't know on their first RV, and that's how you learn it. You learn what you like, and then what you need, and what you have to have.
Well, and that's it. And let's see, the new Air is our 5th RV, our 4th Class A, our 3rd diesel pusher.
Oh, wow.
But with every one of those, you learn a little something more about your personal needs, wants, what works for you, what you really don't use. And so by 2021, we had been on the road living in the RV for 2.5 years. And we decided, okay, you know what? We're sticking with this, but we'd like a few more comforts of home, a little bit more luxury maybe, washer and dryer, dishwasher, all that fun stuff. But we still wanted to stay fairly small. And Tom was still drooling over the new Air from 2018. So it's all your fault, Angie.
Yeah.
But we really got lucky, though. That was a time when things were crazy. You couldn't even find.
Right.
We couldn't find used or new.
Right.
And by chance, and I'll just tell you, we went to the NIRVC website.
Yeah.
And when we went there and I put in new Air and I was looking, they had 17 that they showed on your website, but only one was a 33. The rest of them were 35.
Right. That was that switchover year.
The switchover year. And I was like, oh my gosh. So we got hold of Angie right away because we're like, you got one on the website. And when we first got a hold of y'all weren't sure you still had it. Because
Right.
They
It
were
was
going
our
quick.
last
It was the
33
last
foot
one.
chassis.
Yes.
So they checked and said, yeah, we have it. And I told Angie before we even talked price, I said, let me give you some money. I want it.
I love customers like that. Give me some money.
I can't let you sell that to anybody else. And y'all said, hey, you could order it how you want it too.
Right.
because-
The timing was perfect. It hadn't been scheduled,
Right.
so we
Yes.
could really.
So we really
customize
got
it.
lucky, and let me tell you, the price was very fair, and it was like, yeah, of course, and we gave Angie the deposit right away, and the rest is history.
And then you just have to wait. That's the only hard
Yeah,
part.
that
Then
wait
you
was
have
tough.
to
And
wait.
for us, I got to tell you, a tough thing was, so we sold our coach literally in less than 24 hours.
Yes.
So we had to, he wanted it a lot quicker than we thought. We thought, oh, maybe we can wait. No. And so
And I get it. When you're getting something that's
Yeah.
new or new to you, you
Right.
want it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
100%.
we did the in and out program that y'all have, which is phenomenal because that helped us do all the paperwork and everything.
Right.
Yes.
So we went through the dealership there in Louisville and did the paperwork and gave the coach to them. And then as full-time RVers, I had to do the thing I didn't really want to do. We had to move in with Stacie's mom for a little while until.
Thanks, Mom.
Now we love Grammy K.
He loves your mom.
Absolutely.
We all
I'm
love
it wasn't a negative towards Grammy K, but it's like you're on the road all the time, and then now you're going back to a house with your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
But she was wonderful, and
And you know what was great is, so it was also during that time where sometimes the manufacturers were having a little bit of hard time finding parts or things that they needed to complete. But our build really didn't take that long.
no. it wasn't
And
that bad.
we ordered it in January. We took delivery May 31st.
Yes.
You remember that day?
It was pouring rain.
It's a little bit like today.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
But actually, it rained like solid.
Oh.
Yes, it was a crazy rain day.
Yeah.
but you know what? It was well worth the wait. And the great thing was the entire time, we'd call in or you guys would be calling us to check in and give us updates. And so, yes, it's nail biting to have to wait for something brand new.
It was
but
worth the wait.
It was worth the
Oh, no
wait.
doubt.
Yes, it is. And for us, it is the perfect coach. I can't imagine being in anything else for the way that we live and the way we
doesn't want to
travel.
hear that. She wants us to get a new one, I'm sure.
Like I said, it's old.
But when we're ready for our next one, we know where we're going.
I just say, you never need to replace tires. Okay.
That's
When
true.
it gets to that time,
You're right.
That's another good point.
I can take care of it.
That is very true. But yeah, that's how we ended up coming to NIRVC. And, like I said, it's our fifth RV. It probably won't be our last. And we know where to come for the next one. So it all works out.
Want to amp up your next adventure? Look to National Indoor RV Centers for a fantastic selection of rugged yet luxurious Class B RVs from Gretsch, Pleasureway, Winnebago, Jayco, and more. These adventure vans will have you ready to be the ultimate off-grid, off-road warrior or weekend warrior. Take another look at van life. Visit nirvc.com to start planning for RVing expeditions that can take you in new directions.
So we got to work together on building you guys custom building
Yes.
a new air, which was so fun.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's such a beautiful coach, and I love it.
Thank
Anytime
you.
I come into the campground, if they're in the campground, I know it.
That's
Everyone
right.
knows it.
That's
It's
true.
beautiful.
It's true.
And I'm telling you, if you've never gone through that, if you've ever thought about ordering your own coach and stuff, it's a neat process.
It is.
It is.
It really is. I'm not saying it's easy. It's almost like buying a house.
But
you know?
not as hard as buying a
Oh,
house
no,
because
no.
you don't have as many
Decisions, right.
but you get to make some critical ones.
You
that
can
are
make
nice.
and when for us the critical was the color. We wanted to do a custom
I think that was
color.
like a full day.
It was
Poor Angie. We you have all these great samples to pick from, and we
Yeah.
have a Newmar New Air. So with Newmar, if you're going to do custom paint, you can choose from anything they've ever done.
Yeah.
So Angie's saying, hey, look at this and check this out, and what about this? And we were taking it outside and seeing what it looked like in the light. And I don't know how many times we changed our mind in that day, but once we made the decision,
Yep.
we made the decision. Our coach is actually red, white, and blue. So yes.
Can't miss it. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank
and they
you.
have a beautiful red Jeep that tows
Yes.
behind. So
Yeah.
Yes.
it looks great. It
Thank
looks
you. But the whole process, I got to say, was really so easy. Now, we consider Angie our friend. We've known her
Yeah.
now for a number of years. We
Yeah.
won't,
Likewise.
it's just a short period of time because we're not that old.
No, exactly.
But-
I don't think we've aged a minute since
no,
we met in 14.
not at all.
Yeah.
But it was truly so easy to sit there and just walk through the process and of all the things to consider, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's really fun. Anyone that wants to do that and really like have some of their own decisions and in their coach, it's a fun way to do it. We're happy to do that. That's why we have the design centers at all of our locations, so you can easily do that.
Yeah.
Well, and the great thing is you were able to help us
Yeah.
by knowing things that have, other folks have talked about and other people have been through the process with you and your team. So you kind of knew, hey, you might want to consider this or that or this special. And that was really helpful because there were things that we never would have considered, even knowing that was an option to talk about.
Right.
But
right.
you had the experience
There's
to
a
help
few
us.
things that we've had enough customers add them, or we've thought that's a great idea when they've done it. Like, I'm going to write
Yes.
that down and make sure. And once I know that the manufacturer will do it, then
Right.
it's easy. So we got our coach.
Yes.
It's been great. And then you've been able to use National Indoor RV Centers for some of our other services as well.
We have.
Yeah, well, really, when we thought to go with National Indoor, which that was an easy decision, but you have locations all across the United States. And as full-time RVers, you want to, if something happens, which, they're RVs, things are going to happen from time to time. You want to know there's a place that you can get to.
Mm-hmm.
And, with y'all having them all around, it's so easy. We didn't know that so quickly after we bought ours that we would be in the Atlanta facility. We picked ours up in the Dallas location.
Mm-hmm.
But soon after we got it, we went up and got some lithium and solar put on it. And right after that got done, we were heading down eastern side.
We were going to Savannah.
And we got sideswiped.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yeah.
When I first heard, I was sick.
Oh,
Yeah, that was crazy. And we, we were able to get into Atlanta pretty quick.
mm-hmm.
It was drivable, so at least we were able to.
Yeah, it didn't look pretty.
It didn't.
No. Oh yeah. It's
Scratched
like
all
getting
down
that.
the side.
It was a little bit more than the first scratch.
Right.
Yeah, it was,
right.
Yeah, it was worse than the first scratch. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but they did a phenomenal job. And again, that factored in perfectly. That's exactly what we thought. If anything happens while we're out on the road,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we're close enough. And the way they're located all over the United States, there's a good chance we're going to be real close. That time we were real close.
Yeah,
really.
I actually tell customers, I'm like, buy it here, and then on your first trip, make a stop, and as you go through the different parts of the country, stop in an NIRVC and get to know
Right.
us, because they will eventually.
Yeah, you never know when you're
Chances
going
are
to need
you'll
something,
need something.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
And another neat thing with NIRVC that I don't think gets broadcast out that much, but especially for full-timers, but it can be for part-timers too, is that if you need something done, you have a campground at all the different locations.
right.
You can stay in your coach while they're working on it, even when they were doing the body work.
Mhm.
For most of the time, when they went into the paint booth, we had to go into a hotel for a couple days. But it's so convenient to be able to stay in your own coach.
It is.
We have a cat and a dog that we travel with.
Mhm.
Right,
Um,
so that's a little bit harder in a hotel room or
It is.
restaurants.
Yeah, and that means a ton when you have that, and so it makes it. Let's face it. Brett he's a full-time RVer, so he knew that this is an issue when you're RVing all the time, that you're going to have to stay in your coach when it's getting worked on.
Mhm.
Right.
And so
So we'll
Yeah.
boot you out in the morning.
That's right.
and there's always a nice
You hear
waiting
that
room.
knock on the door.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You got
right.
good coffee. And
Then the waiting rooms are always nice, and they
Yes.
are pet friendly.
Pet friendly.
And so, yeah, it's super convenient. We've had annual maintenance done through NIRVC. Always a good experience. We've had some safety upgrades done.
Yes, we
by
do have some great
NIRVC.
products that we. So you've got the RettroBand on.
We have the RettroBands, and they have come into play.
They've already come into play. We had a blowout.
We did.
Yeah.
We had a front tire failure outside of Amarillo last year, and we were able to find a tire shop close by because we're in Amarillo,
Right.
so there's not an NIRVC there,
Nope.
but they were great. We called NIRVC, and they talked them through how to take the
Take it
RettroBands off, and then got the new tire installed, swung through Dallas. Got a new RettroBand installed that day. It was super easy, and couldn't be happier with that.
Good. Well,
And
that
then
is-
we also have the Protang.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We have the fire suppression system that NIRVC installed, and that just gives us such peace of mind.
Yeah, it really does. And you always think it won't be me, which is
Right.
what I say. But, we just had a gentleman one of our regular customers, he came in last week had a fire incident in his coach. And so he's going to be with us for a couple weeks there while we get it fixed up. But, it's definitely one of those things it's worth having. So
I agree. It
Well-
makes me feel a lot safer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. NIRVC has the RV lifestyles, which y'all are all about, and the safety products. We thoroughly say yes
yeah.
to both. I mean, luckily we had the one already, but the Protang, I hope we never use it.
No, I hope you never use. I hope you never use either one of them. But boy,
Right.
I certainly prefer driving any coach that has RettroBand on
Yes.
it. Like it just puts me.
Well,
Well, one thing I don't think about.
Someone was asking us about that experience recently, and so we're driving in Amarillo. We hear a big boom, but the coach didn't change directions. It didn't shimmy. It didn't shake. It didn't. There was nothing to tell us that we had had a tire failure. And our, we've got tire minders, tire pressure monitoring system.
Did they go off?
It did not lose pressure.
Oh wow.
It was really interesting. And so I thought something shifted in the underbay. He thought something maybe shifted in the back of the coach. When we stopped, I got out and I looked, and there was a hole the size of my fist in the sidewall of
my
our front
gosh.
tire.
Wow.
But yeah, so no, I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
RettroBands,
Yep.
having been through that. No doubt.
So, any tips or tricks for our friends that haven't been to National Indoor RV Centers?
I mean, I got to tell you guys, we've known these guys for many years now. We've been to several locations, and so we're in Nashville.
Yeah, we're
now,
in Nashville today, which is
and
fun.
Beautiful new facility.
yeah.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
God.
so glad we got to swing by and see it.
I know.
And we happen to be here at the same time
I
as
know.
Angie,
Which
even more
doesn't
awesome.
always happen.
No. But every interaction that we've had with NIRVC has been fantastic. Everyone we've worked with has been very knowledgeable. We've gotten great service. It's been easy. Even when we had the accident, they really helped us through that whole process of dealing with insurance and everything. We love everybody at NIRVC, and that is
Thank you.
100% from the heart.
Well, it takes the tough part about RVing and makes it a lot easier.
Right.
Because the tough part about RVing is things are going to happen.
It's
from
going to
time
break.
time.
Something's going to break.
Something's going to break, and I mean,
And
I
not
don't
when you
care-
want it to. Not when
Yeah.
you're ready.
No,
not at a
never
good
been
time.
No, and so it's just us knowing that we have that behind us. We have NIRVC right there.
Right.
It's just like having it as a partner.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's a great feeling, and it's always worked out, and they're friends anyway. I mean, we would come anyway because we love Angie and Brett and the whole crew. But And AIM too. We love AIM. We love.
Yeah, you
going
guys
to
have
AIM.
you've been to a couple rallies
We've
now.
been to a couple rallies. We joined the lifetime member
Yes.
program at AIM.
You get a few extra little
We
benefits.
get some
when you
nice
do
little
that.
discounts on service, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. And the rallies are fantastic.
Mhm.
And, you know, it feels like a community,
It
really,
does.
within the RVing community. When you're out on the road and you see another NIRVC plaque on the side of on the
I'm always
side
looking.
or the
Yeah.
back of an RV, and you go, oh, you know, wait, you've got something in common
Mhm.
already. And as RVers, we all have something in common. And then you throw in that extra little, oh, I know this person, I know that person, you know, and it makes the community feel a little tighter
Yep.
and a little friendlier, which
Yep.
to everybody in the RVing world is friendly. It just takes it up another notch, I think.
It does, and it kind of gets you into that. Yeah, I had customers that came to me and they're like, they just bought a big rig and they're like, we don't have anyone to do this with, and I'm like, oh, I have the answer.
Yeah.
Let me get you to an AIM rally.
Yes.
You'll have, and now they're meeting up with people all over the country, so it's fun.
It
So
absolutely is.
where are you guys headed next? What's your big trip for 23?
Boy, you know, we're doing things totally different this year. Normally, I'm a big planner, and I kind of like to.
You got to have one. My husband. It's my husband.
Yeah, I'm kind of the spreadsheet queen, and mapping everything out, and this year we've decided to take. This is our 5th year of living on the road. And so we are doing things very differently. We're winging it more this year.
Oh, I like your
So
winging
we
it.
don't really have a plan this
Oh.
year, which is very unusual for us.
So there might be something
Well, we
interesting
are
that
kinda-
you're working on
Yeah.
behind the scenes, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
there
bit.
is, and we just might be talking about that pretty soon.
Okay, I didn't tell too much, did I?
Yeah. There will
Yeah.
be some news coming up, but and later in the year we're hoping to get up to Massachusetts for the AIM rally. up there
Oh,
in
that's good. I'm
Massachusetts.
excited for that one.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
I
We're
love when we
hoping
can
that
do
that's
kind of a
gonna-
different part of the country to pull in new friends,
Yes.
that haven't been able to get out west with us. Or to
So we're
Texas.
hoping that that's going to work. And yes, we are RV Texas, y'all. But should we tell them? We have
Yeah,
not
you can.
announced yet, but
Ooh.
we are actually what we've been working on for a while now is we're building a new website called RV America, y'all.
Oh,
.com,
yay,
because
that's awesome.
Since our last several years as full time, we've done a whole lot of travel outside of the state of Texas.
Yeah.
We love Texas, y'all. We are native Texans. That is home. You can take the girl out of Texas, but you can't take Texas out of the girl.
No.
But we do a whole lot of traveling outside of the state around this beautiful country. And so we're excited we're building a place to house all of those videos and everything as well.
Wonderful.
So,
And the podcast as well.
and the podcast. So
They've always got something going on. There's always something new. So that's wonderful. Well, Tom and Stacie, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of RVU.
Well,
thank you
always-
for having us.
Oh,
We're
I
so
always enjoy
honored.
talking.
I mean, with Angie, how could you ever say no?
That's right.
They're the best. Yeah, salt of the earth right here. Love
Oh.
you guys.
No, we love Angie. I mean, I'm telling you what, for those of you who haven't had the honor of meeting Angie in person yet, you gotta be in the same place at the same time with her at some point, because she is absolutely 100% what you would expect her to be.
Oh,
Just
thank you.
100% genuine,
Yeah.
so sweet, and just
And approachable.
Always.
Approachable. Let's
I'm
say
gonna have
that.
to pay him after this. No,
So
oh,
thank you.
That's
Yes,
so sweet.
thank you.
Well, the feelings are mutual, so you guys are great. So if you like the show, help us out. Give us a good rating, write a review, share it with your friends, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. I've got lots of great content and experts that I'm going to share with you all. So for now, class is dismissed, and I'll see you on the road. Thanks so much again, Tom and Stacie. Loved having you here with me today.
oh, thanks so much. It was so much fun.
It was fun.